Now let's get the read on all of this from retired U.S. Army Colonel Seth Krummrich. Thank you so much for being here. Let's start off with this ceasefire. What, in your estimation, do you think that this current ceasefire between Iran, Israel, and the United States will last longer than a few weeks and maybe even just a couple of months into something that's more lasting?
Hi, Brian. In my experience, I do think this will last for a few months. But remember that ceasefires, they're really messy. I've seen it firsthand. It could be trying to get the word down to the lowest level trigger pullers, or even what we saw when President Trump announced the ceasefire and Israel and Iran kept striking up until the last minute. So the start point of ceasefires are a place of mistrust from all the parties. And really, it's about how do you do the diplomacy to depressurize and maintain the framework of the ceasefire. But make no mistake, there will be mistakes. And the United States has to be deliberate, strong, and predictable to be able to maintain that framework. And I really think the president did a great job right up front, setting the tone, chastising both countries of saying, hey, knock it off. We need to move forward with this. Now the real heavy lift is keeping it stable. But to your real question, it's a ceasefire is not peace. In the long term, I am less optimistic because there's been cycles of violence for decades throughout with Iran and with Israel. And this latest turn was so violent. And we're seeing the rhetoric now from the Ayatollah and even the defense minister from Israel yesterday saying, hey, if we see any progress going on with their long-range missile capability in Iran, we're going to strike. So we are sitting in a place right now where it's maintain the framework, keep diplomacy, but understand that it will be messy, there will be mistakes, and there's going to be a lot of very harsh language as everybody tries to negotiate from a position of strength.
And so much of this, to me anyway, is how degraded is Iran? It looks like more degraded than we've ever seen, at least in my lifetime, but it's really going to be based on how those nuclear facilities and capabilities really do stand right now. And I'm wondering, from your perspective, do you view Iran and their nuclear capabilities so degraded? Do you view them so isolated that they will be forced currently to come back to the table for a long-lasting peace?
Brian, this is a great question, and it has to do with their nuclear capability, but also their regional capability. They have never been weaker than they are right now. And I'll start with their regional piece. Hamas and Hezbollah wildly degraded. They've lost Syria as their platform to use logistically for all of their movements for their proxy wars. Russia did not come to their aid, even though they signed a cooperation deal 6 months ago. They don't control the airspace above them. The people still greatly dislike the Ayatollah, and that's their #1 threat, is really that local piece, that Iranian revolution on the street, which is something they have to watch, which is why they're overreacting right now. Looking at their nuclear capability, this is a big one. So we're not going to really know the full battle damage assessment for probably a few weeks and months. But I will say that when you look at the amount of damage, it was significant. And when you look at how we're going to collect that data, it's going to be technical platforms. Think planes, drones, satellite imagery. We're going to have our sources on the ground because U.S., Israel, and other countries have incredible intelligence human sources that are also giving us feedback. And like you mentioned, pattern of life, watching those excavators go in and dig things out. But make no mistake, the real thing to watch is Israel's new deterrence policy post-October 7th. If they even get the slightest intelligence that there's going to be new developments for nuclear weapons or for long-range missiles, Israel will strike. Gone are the days of letting Hamas run Gaza or Hezbollah live in southern Lebanon. We're in a brand new world.
Our Maria Bartiromo interviewed President Trump on this very topic about the capabilities and whether or not Iran may have moved some of their nuclear capabilities before the strike. Let's listen to this soundbite.
Do you think that the Iran regime hid some of the enriched uranium before the strikes?
No. You mean, did they take it out of the deep one? No.
Because you were pretty clear you can't have a weapon. You're going to have to come to the talk. Something's going to happen.
I don't think they did. No, I think, first of all, it's very hard to do. It's very dangerous to do. It's very heavy, very, very heavy. It's a very hard thing to do. Plus, we didn't give them much notice because they didn't know we were coming until just, then. And nobody thought we'd go after that site because everybody said that site is impenetrable.
I saw reports that there were 400 kilograms, 800 pounds that they moved, but I wonder if it's traceable. I mean, if they were to have moved
They didn't move anything.
They didn't move anything.
You know what they moved? Themselves. They were all trying to live. They didn't move anything.
Colonel, what do you make of the president's response there that the Iranians did not move any of their material before the strike?
So I have faith that his ability to get all the intelligence is likely accurate. I will say for all of us that work in the global security space, we get paid to worry about what ifs. So we're going to continue to watch and just see and keep flipping over rocks to validate and make sure that that's correct. But I think that intelligence is likely accurate.
Okay, Colonel, thank you so much for your analysis. Really helpful. Thank you.
Hi, everyone. I'm Brian Kilmeade. I want you to do me a favor. I want you to click to subscribe to the Fox News YouTube page. This is the only way that I know for sure that you're not going to miss any great commentary, any great news bites, any great interviews coming your way on Fox. You can get it all here on YouTube. So subscribe right now.